Hey, and welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I'm covering Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, Episode 2, The Rumor Meal. You guys, this is such a good season already. I'm so excited to see what the heck is going on. I really love it. I'm excited to talk about it. They came out of the gate swinging, and I love these ladies. So let's get into it. Before I get started, I do want to announce I'm going to be taking next week off. I'm sure most of you have kids going back to school. My kid's going back to school. Doesn't matter. Got to get her settled. So I will be back the following week. So stick with me. Leave me comments still. I still read them. I love them. Love to know your thoughts. So if I miss next week, then I'll cover the episodes I missed in the following episodes. So thanks so much. Let's get into it. So we pick back up at Karen's new house. Of course, it's right down the street from Monique. And we have Reah, and oh God, you know, I'm not a Karen fan, but I hated this. I feel so bad for her here. Reah, what a dick. Like, he can't even say I love you to his wife. I don't know about you guys, but if I got in that situation, I think I'd look for the door. Like, that's terrible. He can't even say the 3 words she wants him to say. There's times you may not like your spouse, but to not love them that's pretty awful. That's not a great way to live. So then we go over to Monique. I love Monique. She's my MVP so far this season. And the fact that she's warring with Candace, well, that makes me like her even better. She always looks flawless. I'm completely jealous. If I tried to wear these insane high-waisted shorts, I'd look ridiculous. She looks beautiful. So she's having lunch with Giselle. And this whole thing made me laugh here. Giselle says to camera, Monique and I have had our share of problems, but I'm sick of fighting. Hell has frozen over. I'm ready to kiki and get over this. And I say, yes, this is the pair that I needed. I love Giselle, I love Monique, and I love that they're pairing up. So they're pairing up to try to help out Ashley. Since Ashley had the baby, she's really having troubles. She's struggling. They're going to throw her a party to try to get her out of the house. Again, it's brought up, Monique brings up that Giselle is much better to deal with once she's getting that D. And now she's getting the anointed D. I love that. So then they start talking about Charrisse. I didn't see the season Charrisse was on. It sounds like she left because her marriage had fallen apart. And that's awful. But oh, it looks like she's trying to get back in with some drama here. I don't like anybody that comes after Monique, so I'm not, so far, not really a fan. But you guys can fill me in. Tell me if you like her. Tell me what I missed with her. What's her problem? What's her deal? Is she just trying to do a brandy and get back on camera? What's up? So they bring up Charrisse coming to the denim and diamonds. That's just so stupid. The party that Candace threw to celebrate her 1-year anniversary with Chris. And Giselle saying she wasn't even a +1. Candace straight up invited her. And Monique says it's weird that they didn't give anybody a heads up. Giselle says, yeah, it was strange. Monique to camera says Charrisse has been spreading damaging rumors about me and my family. Candace knows all about this. And then you decide to bring her around me, and I don't understand why. And I think Monique brings up a great point. Candace is a shit stirrer, and this is just her way of stirring the pot. Giselle says, me and Charrisse are cool. When did Candace become cool with her? And why did she do that to Monique? So Monique says that these rumors affected me and my husband. The producer tries to get the rumors out of her. She says she doesn't want to talk about it and that it's nasty. And then Giselle, God, I love Giselle. Giselle to camera's like, okay, we're here to spill some tea, so let's spill it. The word on the street is that Monique and her trainer were a wee bit too close, and that her and the dude were out in public together a lot and being seen, and Big Boy found out, and Charrisse has told people. Monique says she's going to have to talk to Candace. They're going to have a talk about it. So then we see Ashley at her apartment. She has a lactation consultant coming over. Little baby Dean, aka Michael's clone, is 3 months old. And I'm going to skip over this part because it's just this whole thing. But she's dealing with postpartum depression, and I feel for her. We see Candace and Wendy going to lunch. Of course, Wendy's the new girl. So far, so good. She has a line later that really made me laugh. We'll talk about it in a minute. I don't love that she's palling up with Candace. That sucks because Candace is the devil. But I am curious to see what she's going to bring to the show. We see Candace and Wendy going to lunch. Of course, Wendy's the new girl. So far, so good. She has a line later that really made me laugh. We'll talk about it in a minute. I don't love that she's palling up with Candace. That sucks because Candace is the devil. But I am curious to see what she's going to bring to the show. So Candace says, not so chill. I was wanting to ask you what you thought of the group. Wendy says, everyone was pleasant. Monique and Karen especially. I had met Karen before, and that she has a mutual friend. And Candace says they call her the grande. And Wendy says, I believe it because she was being fabulous with me. And I think it's funny because if you remember last week in the Talking Head, Karen was shading Wendy right off the bat. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. Then we see some flashes of the women at home with their families. And it's Karen and Candace that decide to go out for drinks. Candace, while they're sitting there, they get an invite from Monique for the dinner and cocktails to celebrate the new mama, Ashley. It's hosted, of course, by Monique and Giselle. So they're cracking up, and Candace says, the world has gone to hell. Karen says, I smell a skunk, and I can't wait to get the download on this. Candace to camera says, I'm surprised I'm invited to the celebration of a new baby, but it is a launching pad to move forward. So, you know, it's just another reason to film together, but I could not invite that bitch to my baby, whatever, welcoming party. That's awful. She just makes everything tough. So then we see Ashley on the phone with Monique, and Ashley, you're such a beautiful woman, and I know you just had a baby, and believe me, I looked even worse than this, but my God, like, don't you know that the cameras are there? Come on, girl. Slap on a little mascara, maybe fix your hair just a little bit. I don't know. I don't love this. If you look how I look, like, I can pull off this look, and that's not right for Housewives. So Monique's making sure that Ashley's going to show. Ashley explains that she's having a hard time. Monique is saying that her and Giselle were able to work together, and Ashley, of course, is excited that the two of them are doing so well. Monique explains that she invited Wendy because, of course, Ashley hadn't met Wendy yet, and Wendy had a daughter a week before Dean was born. That's so sweet. We see a picture of the baby later, and she's gorgeous. They also invited Candace to the party, and they are saying, Monique's saying that she owes Ashley an apology. Haha, laughing about what's to come. So then we see Juan. Juan is so good looking. It's not even fair. Juan meets up with Giselle for lunch. Giselle explains that she's known Juan for about 10 years. She asks if Robyn knows that he's there. But basically, Juan is there because he and Robyn, of course, are trying to work it out and make it happen again where they get remarried. He says that he knows what he's put her through and that she's been there from the beginning for him, and it's important for him to do this for her because she's always let him see the boys and be around them even when they were going through their worst parts. And to camera, Giselle says Juan finally got his mind right and is putting a ring on it. So yay, that's awesome. So they're going to talk about a ring. Giselle says he needs to double the ring size of the previous rings. So it's exciting. I'm not a huge Robyn fan either, but I want the best for her, and I hope Juan does the right thing. And we see some upcoming scenes where it looks like they're going through a tough time again, so I hope everything works out for them. So we go over to Chris and Candace's house. She tells him that she just peed on a stick. She's not pregnant. I don't buy any of this. I think she is way too spoiled. Did you guys ever see the movie Overboard? The one, not the shitty remake they did, but the original one with Goldie Hawn. That's all I can think about because she's thinking about having a baby, and I'm sorry to go off on this tangent, but she's thinking about having a baby. and she's spoiled and she acts awful, and her mom says, if you have a baby, you won't be the baby anymore. And that's exactly what I think of when I think about this Candace thing. There's no way she wants to have a baby. She won't be the baby then, and the focus won't be on her, so she's not into it at all. So then it's the night of Ashley's coming out party. Seriously, that's the words they chose. So we have, of course, Giselle and Monique throwing the party together. Monique always looks gorgeous and classy. I have no idea what the hell Giselle is wearing here. I love that color blue. Do not understand the lips. They made place cards for everybody to try to separate Ashley and Candace. Monique starts to remove the butter knives, which I find very funny. So they're getting ready for the party. They're talking about how it's going to go. Of course, Charrisse comes up. They talk about that whole mess a little bit. And all the ladies start arriving, and Ashley arrives, and she looks beautiful. It's her first big trip out of the house without Dean. So good for her. It's cool that they're doing this for her. And she says if Giselle and Monique can come together to plan a party, it must be a big deal. Ashley thanks everyone for being so supportive. She thanks them a lot and says she's going to be having a sip-and-see soon because, you know, for everybody to meet the baby. Actually, it gets disgusting, and I'm not even going to go into it here, but she announces that she's going to have Botox on her, you know what, in the rear because of a tear during childbirth. And that makes my skin crawl. Did you guys know that was a thing? I've heard of like Botox in your armpits so you don't sweat. I've never heard of Botox back there. Oof. Everybody's face cracked me up with this though. It's pretty funny. So then Ashley asks everybody how the party went the other night, and Monique says it was great besides me dodging a warthog. And then she says she was dodging a walrus, of course, talking about Charrisse. Candace says, I didn't know that you all had that much beef. Monique to camera says, I can't with the bullshit. Everyone knows Candace knows, and then she hides her hand. Meaning that Candace knew what the hell was going on, but she wanted to stir it up and cause some drama, so she invited her. Monique says, we'll talk later. Candace to camera says, what, now we have beef? Of course you do. You had to know that that would piss off Monique when you did that. So this is where I love Monique. She is totally jabbing at Candace, and I'm here for it. She's saying, have you guys been on a honeymoon yet? And Candace is like, no, not yet. Monique says, y'all should have taken that money that you spent on the party and went somewhere and humped all day without a condom. Good for you, Monique. I love it. Wendy says, y'all still use condoms? You need to consummate your damn marriage. So then Giselle makes a speech. She's saying basically that we set the tone for the table. They talk about the friendship and how there's a big issue with Candace and Ashley. Monique and I talked about it. We feel like some apologies need to happen. So I'm thinking Ashley and Candace should talk. Candace says, absolutely, but I think we should go to a place where we should respect each other. All you had to do, Candace, is say, I'm sorry. I mean, it would have been bullshit apology, and that's fine. That's what these shows are about. But all you had to do is be civil to move on. But nope, she can't do that. She has to be a shit stirrer. She's saying, I'm not going to engage you when you have an audience. And Robyn says, the best thing you can do is apologize. Let's move forward. And even if Robyn, the boring one, is saying that, maybe that's a good idea. Giselle says, Candace, have you congratulated her on having a baby? Ashley says, I don't want you to talk about my baby. And good for her. I get that. Like, Candace has been such a shithead. I wouldn't want her to talk about the baby either. Candace says, so this is a dinner for Ashley or Candace attack session? Because if it's for Ashley, let's talk about Ashley. This is where Wendy became my favorite of this scene. It was so amazing. In the middle of this fighting, Candace is yelling. Wendy says, can someone pass the damn alcohol? Where is it? I love it. Candace says, let's talk about you, Ashley, and to stop talking about the drama. They talk about the elephant in the room, and Monique says it hasn't been resolved. Candace says, stop effing talking about it. Giselle says, no, we're not going to stop talking about it. Apologies need to happen. And Candace, last line of the episode, shut the F up. F you all. Woo! That is a hell of a way to end the episode. It's to be continued, of course. Bravo is really into this to be continued thing right now because all the episodes, they seem to be doing that. We see a flash of next time. We see Wendy and her husband at home with the kids. She's encouraging her husband to get a vasectomy. We see Giselle and Jamal, and it doesn't look like it's going very well. And I say, Giselle, run. He is not a good guy. Run away. We have Monique versus Candace. I'm here for it. I can't wait. And then they flash. They don't say who or what, but somebody invites Charrisse to lunch. I love this season so much. I'm loving these episodes. I love these women. They're really bringing it. I'm excited. I'm excited to be covering it. Like I say, if I miss next week, fear not. I will hit the episode. I'll do a double the following week to make up for it. I promise. Thank you guys so much for all your wonderful comments. I really appreciate it. And I'm covering New York. I'm covering Beverly Hills as well as Below Deck Med. And I just appreciate all the support, you guys. I really do. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. You can find me on Twitter at Real Recaps, or you can comment down below. If there's another show you want me to cover, let me know. I'm open for suggestions. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.